Today, we are going to attack the carburetor. I'm going to plug everything up, delete almost all but like one of the vacuum lines, and hopefully get this car started in this video, so this will be the last one you have to watch. And then we can move on to other things like cool bumpers that I have waiting, but let's hop right into it. Okay, so first thing I want you to do is take off every vacuum line. Grabbing and twisting with pliers will help break free stuck on hoses. All right, now this whole front assembly right here will be taking off because we don't even need it. There's no point in having it. Whoops. Gone. Alright, sorry if this video's not the best. I can't really tell where the camera is. Okay, so this is what it should look like. I took off the whole front. You'll be left with the stud. Maybe you can cut that off, I'm not too sure. But the only plug you need is this guy. The this little guy was tucked underneath here. I think he might have been like this or so, but I don't know what it's for, but I don't think you need it. What else? Oh, that's it. And then I will show you what line you need for the vacuum advance. I'm pretty sure it's this guy right here, and then everything else you'll literally plug up. So I'll check back in when I have all of that done. All right, so basically you plug everything you see. See, I've got those two up there done. This guy here, focus. We got that guy. We've got all of these guys. You leave this one done because that's, or undone because that's your fuel. You need that open. And then those three are all blocked off, and then this left one is what you'll use for your vacuum advance. And then that top black one done. So yeah, just do all of those. Now for this part, I'm not gonna really be able to show it. On the bottom right here, there's two nipples that have two hoses. You're gonna plug one, and then the other, you're gonna take a line and go to the vacuum advance one that I was talking about. All right, the last hose I used was too short, so go back. Remember the vacuum line that you had for your cruise control? It's still that one, and it's super long, and it'll definitely reach. And now that I have it in its approximate spot, I will cut to length. All right, back to more deleting. All right, now I'm gonna take out all of the charcoal canister crap. you got to take off this bottom metal hose. You're going to use that. All right, so this guy that came out of the charcoal canister, you're going to take the one that was on top of the canister and basically do this. All right, now that you got that taken care of, you're gonna take it and tuck it back down here. All right, so this top hose right here is what goes in the top of the charcoal canister, and then this hard line plugs into the bottom of it. You're basically gonna take this hose and skip the whole canister and go straight to the bottom. You're gonna take it. There's a hole with a grommet. See that grommet in there? You're just gonna stick it in there, and it'll just sit like that. So it'll be a hard line that comes from your tank up right here and loop straight back down into nothing. So it's just basically venting to atmosphere. All right, for this stack, just for the time being, I made this octopus mess of vacuum lines. They basically just keep looping on themselves just like this one, just so it basically is acting like a big cap. All right, now that everything's plugged up, let's move on to getting this carburetor back on. We can actually plug this guy up. We're gonna leave this here because we can take this out, but then you have to seal everything, but we're just gonna leave it there for the meantime and tuck this plug somewhere. And here is the vacuum line for the vacuum advance. Right here. Now this should be everything. Everything's plugged. Got the underside of there plugged, one going to the vacuum advance. Everything else is plugged other than the gas line. And then of course the vacuum advance one. So, fingers crossed. Oh, and then I'll put the filter on right now. And then one of the old school filters. I just like the old school OEM look of it. There's a tube that goes off of here that will recirculate. Usually, sometimes people put a filter right here to vent to atmosphere, but since this one's still open, it should be fine. All right, there it is. All completed. It's kind of crazy actually seeing it back on the car and everything. Oh, everything's plugged. This guy's another EGR thing. I just have it plugged right here. Should be fine. I'm gonna throw the fluids in it and everything. Now, cut to when it's ready to start. One last thing. Don't forget to slap on your throttle cable and bracket because I forgot to film it. And that's that. I will cut back, as I said, when this is all ready, and I'll probably freshen up this whole top thing so it looks all nice. All right, it is time for the first start. Alright, quick update. I've been at this for like, this is the next day. Car's been running like dookie, and apparently I checked the timing again. It jumped a tooth and it threw like everything off. So we're gonna try and start it and see if this works. Alright, so I found the problem with the carb. So there's this surface right here that then this guy goes on, and then the carb goes on top of this. Now, this is an old gasket and it looked fine to me, so I left it, but I later looked and there's old leftover gasket stuff, and I sprayed some quick start when it was on the car at like idle, and when you sprayed it the revs would jump, so it's actually leaking through here. I had a big vacuum leak through this spot right here. So what I'm going to do is they actually did in the gasket set give me a new gasket, so I'm going to either put it on this side or underneath this spacer on top of the manifold, and then I'm just going to RTV the crap out of all of the surfaces and hope that that fixes my problem. We finally did it. Hell yeah. All right, so basically this was not easy, and I'm gonna tell you why it took so long for me to actually get the car started and everything is because, I mean, I had everything blocked off. I followed all of the directions from the super old YouTube videos and everything, but the one thing that I missed was that a good seal on here. And what I did was I took some quick start and I sprayed along the base and everything to see if I had a leak down there, and sure enough there was a leak. So I cleaned everything off, RTV'd, and let it sit for a whole day, and then it worked magically. So when you try this, don't expect it to work in, you know, right after you go to turn it on and everything, because this took about 3 extra more days of tinkering and everything, and it about sent me off the deep end. But so yeah, there it is. I'll show everything when it's finally buttoned up. But yeah, so we have everything plugged off. This wire, these two right here, it goes to the bottom of this guy. I'm sure you could just cap these off, but I'm gonna leave it because it's working right now. But I'm sure you could just cap everything off other than the vacuum advance that I have right here. And it turns out on the distributor there is actually 3 ports. See if you can see that. There's one right on the bottom right here, and then there's 2 back here. There's this one that's blocked off, and then there's a further one over here. You'll be able to feel it. But yeah, just choose one and block off all the other ones, and then you should be good to go. And so what I did during that whole time was to tune it. You're gonna fiddle with this guy. Basically what I did was I set my RPM range, and what you can do to kind of like reset it is screw it all the way in and then screw it like 3 full turns counterclockwise, and then that'll get you, I mean, you'll be able to gauge how high a rev is, and you know, turn to the left or the idle will go down. And then because when you screw it in, this thing gently goes up, and when you unscrew it, it gently moves back down. So that's how you set that. This guy I'm pretty sure I was told you just have to unscrew it so it's not engaged in anything. So you just, you know, back it off so it's not interacting or anything. And then this guy, you just kind of fiddle with it until you get a good good feel on the motor. Nothing's going crazy. I'm sure I don't have it set quite right, but for now it sounds pretty okay. All right, so that's everything. Everything's back on. Job is complete. Absolutely wild. No more cruise control. No more emissions. Completely empty. I hope this was helpful for y'all. Please let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. Bye. These nuts, these nuts, these nuts.